people on board, it makes it faster for that transfer of knowledge, and we don't have to keep slowing down to necessarily inspire delight. Okay, let's go ahead and begin. So I got this new tool I'd like to show you. Actually, it's already built into this. It's actually built into Whereby already, but it's Miro's whiteboard. Miro's whiteboard. Okay, so Miro's whiteboard is on the. It's on the. Okay, it's on the left panel, and then we have an open page on the right panel to talk about landing page optimization. So let's start the discussion first. Landing page optimization. Let's begin. Let's start the topic to Shumen first. Shumen, what is landing page optimization, as far as you understand it?
Like when I come to this page, and then that page kind of acts like this is the final page. Yeah, so it's like it won't direct me somewhere else or something. Yeah.
Okay, when you arrive at a page and the page directs you to something, yeah?
Directs me to something. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's go to Ekin. Ekin, how do you understand landing page optimization?
So for me, landing page optimization is to make sure that the page that we enter accomplishes its purpose. Like if it needs to be linking the person to someone else, it should be able to do that. Or if it's supposed to give a message, it should give the message clearly.
Okay, so the landing page optimization should help us accomplish a purpose, right? Okay, very good. I think let's understand this then. Let's go to say a particular campaign that we're working on right now. So we're working on this campaign, to bring in. Oh, this tool has a lot of lines everywhere, so it's kind of hard to see things. But all right, so we have a landing page here that I've screenshot and I've placed in a whiteboard. So the landing page here is customer relation, hospitality, air support, reservation, intern. Let's go and try to understand the purpose of this page then. What is the purpose of this page, Shumen?
Basically, to get someone to understand and then apply for the role that for this HR role that they think is suitable for them. Yeah.
Okay, understand and apply for the role. Okay, very good. Let's go to Ekin. Ekin, do you have what do you think it's for?
It's for, just like Shumen said, if someone wants to apply for an internship here, they can get information on what the intern is supposed to do and how they can apply. And hopefully we are waiting for them to apply.
Okay, right. Okay, so there's a few purposes of this page. Very good answers. One is the end purpose is to make a decision, right? So you're trying to get someone to decide to apply to become an intern. Okay. So then there's a few things you can do to support that purpose, right? Understanding is one thing. So how can we explain things so that people can understand this really well? This itself is a huge subtopic, right? It's a pretty big subtopic because understanding is based on communication strategy, right? Communication strategy. So it depends on our message. What do we know about our audience? Channel is already fixed. This is fixed, so there's not too much you can do. It's already a website. And then what is the timing? Timing is kind of fixed already. This is available all the time. So a website has that as actually a benefit. You don't need to consider what is the channel, what is the timing so much. So it allows you to kind of focus on these two things, right? It allows you to focus on message and audience very well. Okay, so that's about understanding. The other part is the persuasion part, right? Have you done anything? Have you persuaded the right person to apply? Okay, and that's more to do with, let's say persuasion strategy, right? Persuasion strategy, and there's a few elements in that. What we've discovered about persuasion strategy is that there's a few things that make it effective. One is the message concise, right? If it's concise, it generally tends to be a little bit more persuasive than something that's very long, right? People don't want to spend too much time thinking about it. The second is, are you showing, not telling? Okay. So are you demonstrating actually that this can be done rather than telling people about what's here? Are you focusing on benefits versus features? That's also something that's pretty important, right? If you focus on features, the internship offers this, but not on benefits. As a result of this, you will get this. As a result of this, you will get that. That also loses a bit of persuasion. There's one last one. I'm gonna have to go to Shumin to see if she remembered. Shumin, have you ever, did we do a workshop on this yet? Or is this the first time you've seen this?
First time I see this,
Ah,
but
okay.
it's something on the outreach one, right? Like you do this with the
Yeah, I did this on the outreach discussion because we realized that there was 4 common mistakes that we were doing. But the outreach is the same as the website, as the same as any persuasive messaging. You should probably avoid certain things. And okay, the 4th mistake. Oh, right. Of course, the 4th mistake is your call to action,
Ah.
right? Your CTA. You need to have a call to action. So after you've persuaded somebody, what should they do next and when should they do it? So what should I do next and when should I do it? All right? So that's pretty important. Okay, so if you are thinking about these 2 strategies, you're thinking about improving the understanding and improving the persuasion, then you're probably doing a good job on your landing page optimization. Now, there's a few other things that you can do to optimize the page. Besides what's on this page, how else can I optimize performance? And in this particular case, that maybe opens a new question, is what is the KPIs of performance for a great landing page? Okay, let's see what Ekin thinks. Ekin, what do you think is the KPIs of performance for a great landing page?
To see whether it gets more viewers.
Okay, more views. Okay, very good. A great landing page, you get more views. Excellent. Okay. Anything else, Ekin?
More views, maybe more screening time.
Okay, so more view time. Okay. Anything else?
Maybe like to see if the same people are viewing the page, so
Okay.
unique viewers.
Okay, okay, unique viewers. Do you want more unique views or do you want more return views? Or does it not matter?
I think both is good. Like unique views means that people are actually considering doing something with the page,
Okay.
and normal views are like saying that our page actually is able to get in touch with people.
Okay, great. So basically, the more the better. So that falls under more views then, basically, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, whether it's unique or not unique doesn't really matter as long
Yeah.
as people keep on coming and looking at it. All right, let's go to Shumen. Anything else?
The lower bounce rate, I think.
Yes, right. We want low bounce rate.
Yeah.
The low bounce rate is generally means higher relevancy, right? It means that the content is actually, how do you spell relevancy? Anything else? One more thing, it's very important.
High application.
Yes, okay, Shuman got it, is high application rate. So this is what we call conversion. Conversion means if you think of a landing page as a black box, okay? Black box, input is the traffic, output is the applicants. Ideally, you should see a lot of conversion, right? A lot of traffic results in a lot of applications. If you have a black box and you get a lot of applications, or you get a lot of views and no applications, something's wrong with this, right? It's almost like a filter then, stopping everyone from going through. So you need to pay attention to your conversion rates. Okay, ultimately, the most important thing is these 2 things, right? You want a lot of conversion. Oops, sorry. You want a lot of conversion and you want a lot of views. Now, let's talk about how we can get both. How do we get more views on the page? Ekin, let's go with Ekin. What do you think? How can we get more views?
So I looked at Google Analytics, and most of the time when people look at Bukit Vista, they just naturally type Bukit Vista, like they do not use any search engines.
Okay, so we're
And
getting direct approaches, right?
yeah,
Okay.
and if they do with Google searches, then if they do from Google searches, we need to get higher ranks in the search.
Okay, great.
And to do that, we can maybe use better keywords.
Okay, better keywords. Okay, all right, good. Direct approach doesn't mean they necessarily type it. It means that they went directly to our site. So if they clicked on a
Yeah.
link on an email, or let's say somebody WhatsApped them and they gave them a link there, or yeah, it could be that they typed it direct, like they scanned a QR code, or they, yeah, I don't know, whatever, right? They saw a poster, right, with our website on it, and they went direct to it. So it doesn't necessarily always mean they typed it in. It's any type of traffic that comes without an intermediary, right? It means that they found you without the help of anything else. It could be a billboard, right? If you do outdoor advertising, people might have actually typed it in based on that. Okay, so that's direct approaches. Better keywords. Let's go down Ekin's thought process here, Shimit. What else gets us a higher ranking on Google search?
Higher ranking on Google search. When like a lot of people view it, right? I think you mentioned to us like the more viewers or the longer people stay
Okay.
on the page.
So this is called engagement, right? Your engagement, if it's very engaging, then Google considers this as a piece of content on its social network. You can think of it that way. So if a content gets a lot of engagement, it knows that this content is a good fit to what people are looking for. They spend time on it. They click on all the buttons. If they go around and spend all day on this page, then it's probably actually, if you do that well enough, you don't need Google anymore. That's what social networks are, right? It's a website that you go to that you never leave, and that would be the ultimate. So the engagement is related to the ranking that you also get to as well. There's a few more things. Let's keep on going. Ekin, what are other things that we can do to get a higher ranking on Google search?
So to do that, I guess something with using like better text.
Better text.
I
Okay. Better text goes back into this engagement strategy. So we can say better copywriting, yeah? And that might be titles and description, right? So what is your headline and these type of things. So that goes there. But there are any other large categories that we need to look at in order to think about how to get this better, higher ranking? Let's go back to Shumen.
What else higher ranking? I'm thinking like videos, but that's like under engagement.
Yeah, you can call this multimedia, although nobody calls it in this generation. When I was growing up, they called it multimedia, right? So you can put videos, games, graphs, graphics, anything that engages somebody, right? Like, okay, here's a trick that you can do to engage somebody. Do you guys know what Where's Waldo? Nobody
Yeah.
knows Where's Waldo? This is a great
Yeah,
trick.
yeah.
Where's Waldo?
I know.
So see, you're doing it already, right? So you're looking for Waldo. As you're looking for Waldo, you might be on that page for 10 minutes, right? Looking for Waldo. So that would be like one way you could prolong engagement. So anything that prolongs that engagement is a good thing. So using multimedia to prolong engagement. All right. Any other ways that we can actually get higher ranking on Google search? Okay. I'll give you guys the answer. It's called your backlinks. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you want to be backlink strategy. You kind of want to be something that everybody links to, right? So, oh yeah, that's a great example. Here, that's it. Ding. That's what you want. You want everywhere in the world to link to your site. If everyone's linking to your site, you can think of it like this. You want to be the biggest river. Okay, so if you want to be the biggest river, all the small rivers must empty into your river. Or even better, a bigger river goes into your river, right? Then you would get that's how I usually think of backlinks. So yeah, think about backlinks and think about two types of backlinks, right? One is internal, and this can be on the website itself, right? Or within our internal, okay, let's say internal 1, internal 2, right? There's internal 1 is on the website itself. Internal 2 is on sites controlled by BD. So you guys are lucky here, you're interns, and there's already a lot of content and assets that have already been developed. So like our Instagram, our Facebook, whatever, all these are ways that you can get backlinks, okay? That's only so powerful, but the really powerful backlinks come from external ones, right? The highest ones are let's say .edu type, right? University level domains. University level domains are very powerful because they are legitimate. You know, you can probably think that university doesn't publish spam or garbage on their website typically. So these are seen as being very legitimate. So are government websites, okay? And so are .big.com websites, right? Or any big websites that have, let's say, a lot of authority. Major newspapers, the Straits Times, major publications, libraries. Library, right? Government, think of the library. If a library publishes a backlink, gives you a backlink, that's pretty good, right? That'll be seen as very authoritative. For the purposes of today's discussion, we're just going to focus on these things here, right? Because these things are what we call on-page optimization. These are the things that we can fix on page. These things over here, this is called off-page optimization. I should pick a different color. These are off-page optimization techniques. These are things that you can bring to get traffic there. Okay, which one has relevancy on conversion? Off-page or on-page? Schmidt.
I would think both, but the
Yes.
off-page one is more direct. in a
Okay,
sense.
it's a trick question. Yeah, Ekin, what do you think?
I was also gonna say both, but
Okay.
I was thinking that you're thinking about specific one, so I was so confused.
No,
on
no
what
worries.
to say.
It's a trick question. It's a false question. They're both relevant. As you can see, also Shumin from working in HR for a while, the quality of conversion depends on the quality of applicants, and the quality of applicants depends on where we distribute. So where you backlink to, actually, if you backlink, let's say to I don't know, oh God, what's a random site? Let's say an agricultural site that sells soybeans, right? And yes, okay, it's a great, powerful backlink, but you're probably not going to get any intern applicants for this type of thing from that backlink. So it's kind of irrelevant, all right? But okay, the most impact generally comes from the conversion from the on page. That's where there's slightly more because traffic has arrived. You need to think about this. Okay, so this is where this conversion has kind of a new story, right? Conversion is two parts. What are the two parts of conversion that we need to think about strategically? Let's go to Ekin. There's two parts to conversion. What are we thinking about in terms of conversion?
Two important parts. Like for example, if the candidate being able to reach out to qualified candidates.
Yes. Okay. That means passing true positives, right? That means the people who are the right type of people go through. Let's go to Shumin for the other strategy. What's the opposite then that we need?
To like be able to recognize the false positives.
Okay, reject true negatives. False positives are false positive if
Confused.
you thought somebody was good fit and they actually don't turn out to be a good fit, right? So you want to reject true negatives and you want to pass true positives, okay? So that's what you need to think about when you think about conversion. If you only think about passing everybody through, that just adds a burden to the next layer, right? Because then you've just, okay. The reason I bring this up is there's actually some funny things that I've learned over time. I've noticed that, let's say, landing pages. Okay, if you look at, let's say, a landing page for, I don't know. Let's say you're a guest on Airbnb. Okay, these landing pages are beautiful and highly engaging and very, very seductive, right? Oh yes, I want to click on it. Look at this. This is all this great stuff. Okay, I'm brought here. I'm looking at all this stuff. Oh wow, look at all these photos. Okay, I'll tell you about one optimization that Airbnb did that they didn't have before. You see how you see now oh my God, they used AI now to organize the photos. That's amazing. It's amazing. All right, what they've done now, as opposed to before, was whenever you open an Airbnb listing as a guest, you would just see one picture, right? That was the main hero picture, okay? And so, woe be to the silly host who actually put the worst picture on as their first picture. Some hosts would put, like a picture of their toilet as their first picture, or a picture of like their backyard, laundry machine, or some silly thing like that. So Airbnb got smart. They realized we can't rely on our hosts to properly order the photos. Let's just show the photos in the. I think now it doesn't even matter. I think Airbnb probably just picks whatever photo people engage with the most and put that as the biggest photo. I'm just guessing there, but you can see that they made a decision to now not rely on a single photo. They're going to rely on a ton of photos, right? And they put even a call to action here, over here, like, show more photos, right? Not the end call to action of actually making the booking, but, an intermediate call to action that then tells them that you're engaged. It tells them you're interested, okay? All right, so they put a lot of effort into this whole thing, right? Into making this perfect. But then if you look at their jobs page, if you go to Airbnb's jobs page, they have, one, you can't even find it, right? It's like, where can I actually apply to be an employee? Okay, community, Airbnb, founder's letter. I can't even find, careers, okay. Not easy to find, okay, but there. Okay, let's open careers, see what they find. Okay, and then so you open careers. Okay, this is a nice landing page, nice big hero photo, but not like before, right? Not like all these kaleidoscope of things. So they made it a little bit more simple. And okay, there's a call to action here, explore the roles, like we have. So we copied that, I think. Core values, right? I don't know if we copied that or not, but it might be a coincidence. Core values, okay, and then some more stuff over here. And you see, you have to scroll all the way down to get to the jobs. They don't give you the jobs right away. Now, if you want to improve conversion, you should put the jobs up at the very top, right? Because, let's just get to the point here, right? Let me apply. But they don't want you to do that. They actually would rather that you read the core values, that you understand something, and then you start applying, okay? Of course, they provide a button here so you can skip all that if you want, but there's intentionality behind this. But let's go to Ekin. Ekin, why do you think they put the jobs down here at the bottom?
So actually putting the mission and core values above is kind of helping with the conversion procedure, like passing the true positives, because a true positive, they would want a true positive to actually read through the mission.
Correct. And it helps perhaps reject true negatives too as well, right?
Yeah.
Because people are like, what? Okay, I don't see the job, bye. Or I'm reading these core values and that's not me. All right, that's not what I believe in. So then, bye. Okay. Yeah, that's right. So you can see that they're not trying to optimize for conversion in the overall sense like they are with guests. Right? They're trying to kind of like almost filter out certain people who wouldn't actually want to apply. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at their landing page that they have for an accountant. Okay, no graphics, nothing fancy, no thing, just the basics, right? Just, this is it, and this is all we have, and if you want to apply, here's your application, and you can apply right through there, okay? So you can apply on the site, you can apply using LinkedIn, okay, that's cool, and you can apply using this button, and that brings you to just that other page, okay? So that's it. That's simple as it is. Now, a company like Airbnb has probably way too many applicants, right? So they're probably focused mostly on this side. They're going to try to focus on rejecting as many people as possible because otherwise their HR teams get too many applications. So they're probably going to focus on that. We need to focus probably a little bit more balanced on both sides, right? So we need to focus on passing the true positives and on true negatives. Perhaps you also need to decide for a campaign. Maybe a campaign's not doing that well, there's not enough traffic. Do you want to send in more applications even if there's a higher risk that they're negatives? That is up to you to decide, right, as an optimizer. So this is why it's important to have control. If you can control this, then you can increase the selectivity of the filter, and you can block out more people. Or you can relax the filter and let through more people. So that's kind of like what you can do. All right, let's get into the mechanics. Let's get into like what we can actually do. So I spent half an hour talking about the theory. Let's talk about the practice now. Now, the first thing you got to do, and as we become innovators, we'll have different definitions of this, but you have to understand kind of like the sections of the page and what the purpose of each section can be, right? And the relative importance and priority for each section. Okay, so let's go to the very top. What would you call this section, Shumit? The red box.
The header.
The header. Okay, perfect. And then what would you call, let's say, Eken, what would you call this in the second box, in the blue box, Eken?
Description.
Okay, description. What kind of description? There's a lot of description now.
Description to the role and the company.
Okay, so we can call that an introduction. Yeah?
Introduction.
Okay. We have a header, an introduction, and then what is this part? Oh wait, I forgot to ask. Shumen, now switch off. Yeah.
It's like your job specification. So what do you expect like a candidate to have? What kind of knowledge? What kind of skills?
Okay, good qualifications, very good. And then let's say the purple box. Eken, what is the purple box?
So it's where the apply button is, and also multimedia part.
Okay.
Like
what purpose does it serve, though?
the multimedia makes it more engaging, I guess. Makes it more interesting for the applicant.
Good. And what are we trying to do in this particular engagement? We're trying to
persuade them into applying.
Right. We're trying to persuade by show, not tell. Hopefully, right? We're trying to give like a little bit of a picture of what it would actually look like to intern here, and maybe think about like how to do that. It's a little bit not concise because it takes a bit of time and effort to play and watch the video, but okay, it's there. Great. So let's think about relative importance then. Oh my God! Wait a second. Wait a second. Okay, no, that's okay. Oh, sorry. I made a mistake. What I should have done is this, actually. Okay. Aha. Okay. Change the color. Change the color to gray. Okay. All right. Shumin, why did I do that?
Because the blue one is more about like the company, the gray one is like about the job itself.
Right. There is a distinction. There's a company introduction and then there is a role introduction. Okay, so they're slightly different. All right. So as far as we can see, currently, let's kind of zoom out a little bit and see what we're doing. Currently, we see that there are currently. Sorry, keep on saying currently. I did it again. 5 sections of the landing page, right? So there's the header, there's the company intro, there's the role intro, and then there's the qualifications, okay, and then there's the proof, or maybe it's social proof, yeah? We'll call it the social proof, okay? Those are the main 5 sections there. First question, do we need less or more sections? Let's go to Eken. What do you think? Do we need less or more sections?
If we want to actually increase the rate of application, I think adding more sections would be affecting that negatively.
Okay, more sections might increase the rate of application. Why do you think that?
So this is not really actually maybe not very beneficial if we are trying to reject negatives. But if we are trying to get more applications, at least the quicker people are able to see the apply button at the end, I guess more people will apply.
Okay, good. So actually it's the opposite, right? It's the fewer sections actually increase the rate of applications.
Yeah.
Right. So the more concise we can be. So concise probably affects the rate of application. Okay, very good. Let's go to Shumen. Shumen, what do you think? Do we need more sections, fewer sections? Or engaged sections? Or do we have enough?
I think we should stick to what we have.
Okay, stick to what we have. Okay, all right, conservative here. I think so. Okay, let's stick to what we have. let's think about like if there's a way to maybe trim it down, make it smaller or whatever, and think a little bit more how to improve each section. All right, so now we have a structure. We have like kind of an idea of what to do. How should we divide our time? Okay, let's say we have 10 credits. Okay, we have 10 units of time. Where should we spend how much time on each particular section thinking about it? Okay, let's go to Shumen first. Shumen, what do you think? That you have 10 credits of time. How would you break it down? Header, how much energy time would you spend on the header?
1.
Okay, 1. Okay. Company intro?
2.
2. Okay. Role intro?
3.
3. Okay. Qualifications?
3.
Okay. And social proof?
1.
1.
There.
Okay.
Right.
All right. That's Shumen. Okay. That's Shumen's thing. What about Ekin? What do you think?
I think I would spend 2 units on header.
Okay. All right. Ekin spends 2 on the header.
For company intro 1.
1. Okay.
Yeah. For job intro 3.
3. Okay.
For qualifications 3, and for the social proof 1.
Okay. Shumen. 1. Okay. All right. I would slightly disagree. And Ekin should know why, right? The most important actual part of it is your title. The title is so important, okay? Because guess why? Everyone sees the title. Everyone sees the title, right? Even on the page before arriving here, they'll see the title. And based on that title, they'll decide whether or not to even read this page, right? So your title is actually it's like a choke point in your traffic, all right? It's like one of the decision branches. Do I read more? Do I read less? Do I read more? Do I read less? Right? So, okay, waiting for that thing to pass. So you actually need to think about, okay, you need to think of it this way. Traffic always reduces at each stage, right? So whatever, let's say, got you here, that's the most important thing. And then every section afterwards is a little bit less important, okay? So think of it this way. Think of if you're gonna watch a 3-hour movie, okay? If you're gonna watch a 3-hour movie and pay money to see that, the trailer that you saw on YouTube or whatever better be amazing, right? That trailer better be absolutely astonishing. So that trailer is actually the most important part if you want to see that movie, okay? That's what gets you to watch the first part of the movie. Now, when you sit down for a 3-hour movie, the first 10 minutes better tell you why you're going to be there for 3 hours, right? Because if the first 10 minutes are garbage and you're like, no, bye, can I get my money back, right? Then the movie has failed. So think of it this way. Each part, this is the digital marketing kind of mindset, right? Each part better give you a reason to go to the next part and the next part and the next part. And so you kind of like if you're structuring this in a persuasion way, you might even want to readjust the order of things to put the most persuasive stuff at the top and then move your way down. Okay, how can you do that, for example, right? Maybe instead of having, let's say, this current order, right? You have the header and then the company intro and all that. Maybe you could try mixing it up, right? You have the header, and that you're always going to get because that's just right there. But maybe you put the social proof up at the top. I had a fabulous internship during my 3 months at Bukit Vista. I would recommend this to anybody. Watch while I tell you the whatever it could be, right? And it could be a quote, it could be something, right? So you can have the social proof at the top. You then might put the role intro maybe right after that. So somebody goes like, oh, okay, this seems like a cool place. What do I need to do? What do I do? Okay, this is what I do. All right, company intro maybe after that, and you can put the qualifications last, okay? This is already a way of understanding how to optimize things, right? Now that we've broken it up into components, I mean, this is a hypothesis. I don't know. This could work worse, right? But this is like one of the ideas to think about, right? Once you have this, what you should do is you should put probably 5, or not 5, maybe let's say, what's the most I can get to this? Maybe 4, 3, 2, Do I have any more? 1 and 1? Yeah? Is that over budget? Okay.
Over budget.
That's over budget. Right? All right. Maybe like that, right? Because if you don't get people in the very beginning, they're not going to go through any of the other stages. So the way that I would start thinking about this is not actually in terms of a section, but in terms of stages, right? So this is the oh, I just discovered this while I was talking to you guys. Yay! Okay. I would think of it this way. Let's think of it as stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, and then stage 5, right? So whatever you do in your stage 1, whatever that is, right, that should get the majority of your attention. Whatever you do in stage 2, that should also get majority. Stage 3, that gets a little bit less. Stage 4, that gets a little bit less. Stage 5, that gets less. And then the end goal is to get them to click on that call to action, right? Maybe that's actually stage 6, actually, the CTA. And I guess if you've done a good job for everything, then they'll just click and apply, right? But if you want to budget some time to think about the call to action, that could also be fairly important. I would start thinking about that way, okay? Instead of being locked into a framework where it's always intro, think about, okay, what is the first thing that this person will see? It'll be the headline. Okay, so the headline better be really good. It better tell people, what this role is, or maybe why they should apply, right? You can go very radical. You can go with, why should you do this? Serve hundreds of guests and delight them with your innovative ideas, right? That might actually be a better click than customer relationship, right? People might go, that's boring. I don't want to do customer relationship. I want to change people's lives, right? So you could experiment that, and that opens up your mind a little bit too, right? About what is actually a header. Your header doesn't necessarily need to be a role. The header could actually be a mission, right? And that's something that you can be more flexible with. Okay, so that's the way I see it then, right? So I see it as a persuasive journey. I'm going to tell you something that will get you to start coming to this page. After you come to this page, I'm going to tell you why you should spend 5 minutes reading this, okay? And then I'm going to tell you like an interesting story about somebody else who read this before you came, and what the end benefit was, right? So think of this as storytelling, okay? You have the components of your story. How are you going to tell your story so that people really fall in love with that and experience it really well? Okay, that's the magic of how you structure this. Okay, now that we have that, structure, let's put it back up. Let's think about the sequencing then. Let's go to Ekin. Ekin, what do you think is the most persuasive sequencing that you would put together for your potential inbound applicant?
So I think, of course, we are starting with the header.
Okay, that we can't change. Okay.
After the header, I think the social proof, then the role intro, then qualifications and role intro, I think should not be separated, because if I'm reading a role intro role intro, I think expect qualifications to come right after that.
Okay.
I wouldn't want that to be like broken,
Okay,
while I'm reading that.
Okay, very good.
Then maybe the company intro,
Okay.
then application.
Okay, great. Let's go to Shimin. Shimin, what do you think?
I think the only thing is the company intro that I might change.
Okay, where would you put it?
I was still think like a one-liner after the social proof.
Okay.
Before.
All right, that's great. Okay, fantastic. Now you have a hypothesis, right? Now you both have hypotheses. And so this is where you can work on structure, okay? So you can take the same components now and rearrange them into different orders and see which structure works better. This is then your pivot date, okay? I'll tell you about this, but I don't want it to confuse you, right? There are tools you can use to create 2 versions of the website at the same time, right? So let's say first user gets the version A, second user gets version B, third user gets version A, fourth user gets version B. So it'll just keep on like handing different copies of the website to each person that shows up. So that is an A/B test, right? You can see which version actually works better. So you can understand essentially the structure. So that is your very first idea. that is your first optimization. What is the best structure of these components? Okay. Once you've reached a optimal structure, let's say, for example, maybe Schumann's correct, right? We find that having the company intro in the middle is actually a little bit better. Then the next optimization you go through is optimizing each component. Okay. So then you have to think about, okay, how do I get that intro perfect? How do I get that company intro perfect? How do I get the social proof perfect? And this is where the work actually kind of gets a little bit longer, but also pretty interesting, right? Social proof could be a video, but this is where we look at Google Analytics and we check out, okay, what device are people using? Do we know what internet service they're working on, right? If they have a slow provider, is a video the best way of demonstrating social proof? Or is maybe a graphic or a picture or some other thing that loads more quickly a better way of demonstrating social proof, right? Okay, if we've done that, does that lower the on-page time? Okay, if we've done that, does that mess up our conversion rate later because we let people in who don't have good Wi-Fi connections and then have problems with having meetings, right? So these are all kind of considerations that you can take into account for how you want to shape that traffic later. But here's another thing. Let's actually look for a few other things that could be problematic. All right. One thing that I noticed right away that we do that is not advisable actually is this. Do you see how there's a backlink here? There's actually a link off page. Okay. If you remember Airbnb, they didn't have their core values on a second page, right? They had the core values on the jobs page, and then you go immediately to the whatever, right? Now here's the question. Is it better to have this system or Airbnb system, and why? Let's go to Ekin first. What do you think about that? Is having a link on the landing page a good idea or a bad idea?
I think it's bad. I mean, you already gave me a clue saying that it wasn't advisable, but
Okay.
so having a link to core values will distract the candidate from because it's going to be going to a separate page, then
Correct.
it will need to go back to the main page.
Correct.
So it's confusing.
Correct. Yes. Imagine if you're on a mobile device, okay, and you open this on Google Chrome, and then now all of a sudden you open this and it opens another tab or another thing. Now you're like reading the core values. What are the chances that you're going to close that and go back to the original page? It's hard to say now, right? Now you've what this is called is it's called link loss. I'm not sure if this is an official term, Shumin, so maybe it's not there. But you can think of it as like it's a container, and you know what it's like? It's like having this. It's like having you're at the cash register already, right? At Uniqlo. Let's say you're already at the cash register at Uniqlo, and then somebody then says, "Did you know we have a sale upstairs for this thing?" Or even worse, did you know that the thing at the front door was actually on sale? And you go, no, I didn't. And then you go to the front door and then you get hungry and you're like, oh, hey, look, there's a hot dog on sale outside, right? And then you go and then you totally forget to finish your shopping experience at Uniqlo, right? So you generally, if you want to convert, you don't let people leave the page. You're there and the only way out is through the apply now or they leave, right? That's the only way out. So if you have too many of these links, it can actually be bad. But it might be a good thing for people who have good attention span, right? It could be a good test to see if somebody can finish what they started. So once again, it's like this is what makes HR a little bit different than doing optimization for let's say commerce, right? Commerce, you kind of want to make it as easy as possible for the potential customer. HR sometimes making it a little bit difficult is actually a good thing. So like I don't know. I haven't figured out what the exact thing is yet, but this is one of the things. Okay, all right. Any questions so far? Sorry, I've been talking a lot, and I don't know if you guys over the head or anything like that. But any questions so far? Let's go to Shumit. No.
No,
Let's
I
do-
was just trying out on my mobile like how it works. Yeah,
Okay.
it really opens up like another page lah.
Yeah.
When I click on core values, so it's like you have to like close it like come back to the page.
And how would you get back to the original page?
I have to like do this.
Huh?
So it's like from like that, then I have to like go back to
Oh.
yeah.
that's kind of hard, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like I think like what you say, like if unless the person is like, you know, very sure that he or she already want to be here, then he will go
Yeah,
back. If not, like he will just probably like, you know, scroll through the core values and then just leave.
correct. Okay, got it. Very good, Shumit. Let's go to Ekin. Ekin, any questions at this point that you'd like to ask?
For now, I think I'm clear.
Okay, great. Okay, so today what we've just covered is basically the main strategy. Okay, we've seen kind of like the bigger picture of how to optimize. We've understood what performance actually means. We understood a few things that we can shift, and we're looking at the sections. The rest of it really comes to like copywriting, really, right? It comes down to, can you write a more persuasive and more engaging story? And editing, you could put graphics in to represent something that is difficult to explain, right? You could use like you could use a little icon for a core value. Sometimes that is much faster to understand than writing this core value means blah 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 blah. You know, the people might not understand it that way. So that's kind of what's left over, and those are all available to you through internal open source. So anytime you make a particular change, there should be a website card that keeps track of all the changes that we make on the website. So you just report it. You just take a screenshot. This is the before, and this is what I changed after. And that way everyone knows what the change has been, when the change was made, and who made it. Okay, so that gives everybody edit privileges without having to have like this chaotic, like, you know, thing that happens. We do that to make things fast, but as a compromise, sometimes the brand structure or the voice might get a little bit messy. But if we try to keep the same voice, then we're always bottlenecking through the same copywriters. And in this particular case, I think it's okay, right? It's a little bit more. This overall is a very less visited page on the website than bigger parts of the page. So it has a little less brand impact than, say, something else, right? Okay, anyways, that's pretty much it that I can think of. I guess the next step is up to you guys, right? So I know you're working on different campaigns, and in different campaigns, you have the ability to improve the awareness through things like this, okay? If you need to, you can talk with the product people and think about what the journey of a user through the website is. As you can see on Google Analytics, the journey kind of flows usually to jobs and then to the other sub pages. If you understand the journey, then maybe you can remove some of these components from the page. Like, you don't need a company intro if everybody had to go through the jobs page already. You don't need to introduce core values if you assume that everybody is on through the jobs page already, right? And then you need to think about your backlink strategy. Do you want backlinks to this page specifically, or do you want backlinks up to the job page and then do things on that? So, you know, those are the considerations you can make. Anyway, this is a really fun area. I have lots of fun doing this. It's like Marie Kondo in some ways, right? It's like, you know, like reorganizing your merchandising, and that has a good effect on inspiring delight. So hopefully what you can take from this is you can understand the strategy now, you can plan things, and you can work with people who do copywriting or do copywriting yourself to get a better effect on this page. And remember, don't be afraid to experiment, right? Like, we just discovered that right now. I was just talking about it, and I realized, oh, we shouldn't think of it as header, intro, always in the same format. These things should be rearranged to have the best persuasion format, actually. So you can evolve that way. Okay, that's it.
Okay.
Good. All right, everyone. Share this video